To deeply understand the relationship between elephants and humans, there's no better place on Earth than Chiang Mai. So, we set out and traveled to the northern region of Thailand. Elephants have a special role in Thai culture. They are enshrouded by respect and mystery, to such an extent that they might even receive honors from the Thai king. In spite of this, our experience was that in many cases, they are kept in terrible conditions. While they used to be used in construction and logging, unfortunately nowadays they are mostly used in tourism. Before our departure, we suspected the issue would be complex and highly sensitive. Corruption, the lack of proper statutory regulations, and the vast sums of money made from elephant camps are unfortunately all against the elephant's best interests. These problems have existed for decades, not only in Thailand, but the whole of Southeast Asia. In recent years, a new trend of ethical elephant parks has driven awareness and change. These parks, the inspiration for our film, are based on 3 principles. Elephants are never chained. Visitors can feed and bathe them, but not ride them. And carers must never harm them. The question will inevitably arise if the interests of the elephants are the real priority for these parks, or if it is all a charade to adapt to modern trends while continuing their lucrative business. To see the whole picture, we decided to visit 3 elephant parks with different reputations. We wanted to experience each of them for ourselves. We hopped on this van and will travel about half an hour to go to an elephant park, where we will see an elephant show. We have a bad feeling about it, and it might not be the best place for elephants. We will see when we get there after this bumpy ride. Hopefully, the car will survive. Before we arrive, there is something you need to know. Elephant tourism carries a dark secret. To train elephants to act like sheep so that we can ride on their backs or make them do tricks, they are tortured like this. This is the shocking reality which all elephants enslaved in the tourism industry suffer. What might be even more humiliating is that we are responsible for this. In many cases, tourists unknowingly support the torture and exploitation of these wonderful animals. The aim of this merciless process is to break the body and spirit of the animal, beginning with the separation of calves from their mothers. The calf is forced into a small cage for days or even weeks. They're tied up, starved, and abused until they submit to the service of the tourism industry. For many tourists in Southeast Asia, the highlight of their vacation is getting close to these peaceful giants, an understandably wonderful experience for them. The most common and least expensive elephant activities are shows and riding. And most tourists will unfortunately end up in parks like this one. These places harbor the dark secret of tourism. And I don't need to point out that they're not keen on journalists and documentarians exposing their secrets. We had to shoot incognito. To avoid suspicion, we decided to go with the flow.
نعم. Det är moshögan dish.
Asian elephants need a lot of exercise. In the wild, they can walk up to 20 kilometers per day. But those in captivity don't have the chance. There are visible signs of unhappiness and lack of exercise. Well, what we expected has proven to be true. We're absolutely shocked and devastated. There are around 30 to 40 tourists who seem to be enjoying the show, which we disliked from the start. Every mahout, who's called the elephant keeper, has a sharp stick called ankus. We saw them spiking the head of the elephant with it. Many of them will drag the elephants by their ears. Elephants appear to do everything on command, and they're chained. They might try to make this park look like it's fun, but I'm sure none of this is good for the elephants. Hopefully, we'll find and show a better park, but so far this is really upsetting. And it's really disappointing to see how much other tourists enjoy this show. No matter how hard we tried to stay in the background, there were situations that we couldn't avoid, that we even had to pretend to like. I feel terrible that the elephant was forced to do this. An elephant won't just start kissing humans. This is a forced behavior. He does this because otherwise the mahout would hurt him. Looking in his eyes, I could feel the sadness. The show is about to start. Up until now, they were only bathing in the river. On the show, they will play football and do other similar things. Unfortunately, so far, our fears have been proven right. This is absolutely not good for the elephants. And the elephant football begins. Just picture this. How unnatural it is to have an elephant playing football. The whole concept is wrong. By the way, he scored the first goal.
Vége van a festegetésnek.
Painting is over, and apparently the little calf hasn't been following the rules. Therefore, the mahout had to discipline him on several occasions by pulling his ears. There were 1 or 2 cases when he dragged the calf pretty strong, and there was one moment when he used the sharp stick, the ankus, to stick the little elephant behind his ears, so he does what he was told to do.
Itt pedig már zajlik az elefántlovaglás.
The elephant riding is happening here. We can see that one of the elephants is standing at the wall, where tourists can get on his back. The poor animal is standing facing the wall and waiting for someone to ride on him.
elefántsónak azt kell, hogy mondjam, hogy hál' Istennek vége van.
I can say thank God the elephant show is over now. The place is pretending to care for these animals, but we see that differently. We could picture a whole better place and better conditions for the elephants. After those first bad experiences, we started looking for ethical parks. There are a few dozen of these camps around Chiang Mai. The only question was how to pick one. Of course, their websites and flyers all advertise themselves as 100% ethical. However, scrolling through their social media reviews, you can find a number of negative comments, which actually suggest the opposite. In the end, we had to make a decision. We considered our options and chose a park that seemed promising.
Megérkeztünk a következő parkba.
We just arrived at the next park, and one of the elephants is already here, that advertises itself as an ethical park, where elephants can walk free. The first activity is feeding, and we were given some bananas to feed them. Because you know the proverb, the way to a man's heart is through his stomach, and elephants are no different. So, we are off feeding.
Hatalmasak ezek az elefántok.
These elephants are enormous. What we noticed right away is that the mahouts, or elephant keepers, really don't have the ankus, the so-called hook they use to control them. Also, as far as I can see, they don't have any bruises either.
Milyen érzés volt?
Zseniális érzés, azért ez hatalmas állatok, és azért így testközelből megtapasztalni, meg hozzáérni, és látni, hogy azért mekkora békés óriások, de azért van bennük erő, vigyázni kell velük, de nagyon jó érzés.
The difference was noticeable, not only in the elephant's eyes, but in the attitude of the carers. After our arrival, we had a 30-minute orientation. We felt like they wanted to educate us. They told us that out of all mammals, elephants are pregnant for the longest time, almost 2 years. During this period, a very special relationship is developed between the mother and the baby. The newborn baby elephant is raised by the whole herd, which interestingly is exclusively made up of females and young males. For the calves, the biggest learning curve is learning how to use their trunks, which function as their hand and fifth limb. So elephants learn slowly, but their intelligence is outstanding. They have empathy, emotional intelligence, and memory. You may have heard the saying that elephants never forget. This was confirmed by the locals. According to one story, there were 2 elephants performing the same circus act. After a while, the circus closed down and the elephants were separated from each other. After 23 years, they met again by chance, and the long-separated companions greeted each other with great joy. It isn't only their memories that make these animals special, but their empathy as well. On numerous occasions, they have tried to save their peer's life, even at the cost of their own. We even heard a case where elephants found an injured human and they stayed with him, comforting him until help arrived. We haven't yet mentioned that ethical parks are usually elephant shelters as well. They try to rescue vulnerable animals from awful conditions so that they can spend the rest of their lives in dignity and peace. Each elephant at the ethical park we visited is a rescued animal. They all experienced cruelty in their life in some way. Thankfully, this is no longer visible. However, their tame behavior shouldn't fool anyone. We were curious to find out how one can regain the trust of an elephant whose spirit has been broken.
See, what it's actually they come. Usually they're afraid of the people first and afraid of everything.
And slowly
it changes. So we give them food, we give them positive reinforcement. We have our own vet.
Okay.
He also comes, take cares, and then after that by the positive reinforcement, but we still have to be precautions. So the hooks we still have, we don't use it.
Just in case.
In case.
They are
yes.
wild animals.
So the key words here are care and positive affirmation.
Ahogy itt hátam mögött lehet látni, most
As you can see behind me, this is the shower time. Personally, I don't really like this. Not because it's not good for the elephants, but there are way too many tourists around her. And you only get a small spot on the elephant. So I'll just pass.
So why we put dirty on the body elephant? That's mean like a protection for the sun, mosquitoes, something by them.
I like this one much better though. The elephants have been in the river for a while and they're bathing on their own, so we'll go and wash ourselves too.
When I was young, my grandparents have one elephant. So
They had one elephant.
yes, I have an elephant, but that elephant they passed away a long time ago. We love them, but we use them for work too. Elephants, in my opinion, they are very clever and they're very lovely. So, but if we love them, they love us. If we hurt them, they don't love us. So we have hook, but we try to don't use it, but we have to use it some time, like necessary to use it, but most of the time we don't use it, we try to don't use it. But it doesn't mean we don't love them, we love them, but it's necessary to do it. So the elephant, they're happy when they have enough food. Because they eat a lot, they eat about 10% of the body weight. If we feed them a lot, if we feed them enough food, they are happy. Yeah, we don't force them to do something they don't like to do.
And this is why this place is so special.
Yes, that's true.
As the rain stopped, we entered the forest where several more of our questions were answered. One of our biggest questions was why these poor animals can't be released back to the wild. You may have wondered this too. This issue, as usual, is a pretty complex one. These animals have lived their whole lives among humans. It would be difficult for them to adjust to the wild again. They carry many of our pathogens and bacteria that would put their relatives in the wild in danger. It must also be noted that elephants need massive territory, while the size of the remaining wooded areas have decreased drastically. 2/3 of Thailand's jungles have been destroyed just within the last few decades. There is not enough territory where they could live in peace. This proves that there is a genuine need for these parks to exist.
Eljöttünk egy dzsungeltúrára, és itt van velünk 3 elefánt.
We're on a jungle tour here, and we have 3 elephants with us, who are leading our way on a narrow path in front of us. From time to time, they make a stop to graze, so we ask them to let us through. They're walking here freely. They're playing with a log, throwing it to one another. You can see that they're enjoying their time and being outside. They are very cute as they scratch. They put themselves against a tree to scratch their sides. Very cute. They're so cute. As we returned from the woods, it started raining again, which the elephants seemed to enjoy. So we learned why elephants couldn't be returned to the wild, but we hadn't spoken about their needs at the sanctuary.
Egy-egy elefánt naponta körülbelül olyan 200-300 kg.
Each elephant eats about 200 to 300 kilograms per day. This amount of food has to be provided somehow. So, this is why this park exists, where tourists can come and meet these animals. From the money they make, they can pay for the food, and also they can support the community, this village in the background, who also help take care of the elephants. Our last activity was the preparation of the elephants' favorite snack, which we gave them as a goodbye. Compared to the elephant show, this place was definitely a pleasant surprise. However, for this experience, tourists have to dig deeper into their pockets. The entrance fees at the ethical park are 10 times the price of the non-ethical park fees. So, while the elephant show cost us $8, we paid $80 for the all-day program here. This is a massive difference, but the experience is incomparable. The questions will inevitably arise. When there is so much money to be made, do they really care about the interests of the elephants? Is it really their well-being that's important, or are these simply well-paying businesses? We wanted answers to these questions from a reliable source. The first real ethical park was opened almost 25 years ago in 1996. The founder dedicated her whole life's work to the rescue of elephants. This is the Elephant Nature Park, a sanctuary stretching a square kilometer. It's currently home to 85 elephants, hundreds of dogs, cats, and buffalo. After our arrival, we immediately felt like we were on a safari, which I assume you can tell from the pictures. In this park, the visitors can also feed the elephants, but we came here for something else.
Egészen idáig kellett várni, hogy
They were so loud. I had to wait until now to say something, but I think you heard that too. Clearly, they sound just like lions. By the way, our guides say that they're either very happy or very angry about something. Here we are in this valley, where elephants can live freely. There are some man-made objects around, but still it seems to be their home. And who brought all of this together is Sangduin Chailart, or, as many here know her, Lek. She has saved more than 200 elephants in her life. Her determination and hard work has been recognized several times internationally. She has received a number of awards and honors. Time magazine called her the Hero of Asia, while the Ford Foundation named her the Hero of the Planet. Based on her great efforts, she had also been contacted by stars like Angelina Jolie, Brad Pitt, Paul McCartney, and Meg Ryan. She was recently invited to Washington, D.C., where Hillary Clinton thanked her in person for her efforts and listed her among the 6 most influential female animal rights activists in the world. After all these accolades, I don't even need to mention what an honor it is that Lek hosted us. Not only were we able to conduct an interview with her, but we also saw her special, deep relationship with the animals.
First of all, I raised with the animals. When I was in the tribe, I come from the Hill tribe. I feel that they are people. They're not animal for me, and yeah, that's something I can explain. Because of I am young, I didn't even know or feel anything until one day I have the chance to see elephant in the logging, and that elephant have changed my life. And I heard screaming in the creek, in the forest, and he tried to move up to the steep hill, very, very steep and very slippery. Every time when he moved, he's screaming, and I wonder why he's screaming. But when I look at his head, the mahout, or we call that is elephant keeper, use the knife, jab on his head here, and the blood get down. And when he try again, and he get jab on that, and I see the blood start to get down more and more, and that eyes look at me is completely make me goosebump. I couldn't believe about that. Is a lot of question of his eyes. He, I feel angry. I feel very upset, fear, hopeless, confused, and the screaming is cut deep in my heart. After I came back, I couldn't sleep, rest. I have seen many of them suffer. Many of them are dying. Many of them blind, lame, or sick, very weak, bad condition. They still forced to work. And I asked one of the old elephant when I see that, why don't you raise them? And the man said, we don't know where to raise. I said, when you go and raise? He said, when they are die.
Each elephant in the Elephant Nature Park has endured similar horrors. Benny, who works at the park, told us the heartbreaking story of the first elephant that was rescued.
Her life, the past life, was really, really sad. Because before, she used to work for a logging industry, like elephant pulling log. And at that time, she was pregnant while working. She was pregnant, she didn't even have time to rest. So while she was pulling the log, she gave birth to one baby elephant. But unfortunately, it's a miscarriage. Because while she was pulling the log, while she was working, the baby elephant just came out and rolled down the hill.
Wow.
Yeah, we didn't even know if the baby was still alive or dead, and the mom did not let her go to check on her baby.
She had to keep going.
She had to keep going. So that's why that made her very sad and depressed. Yeah, the next day she refused to work. She didn't feel like doing anything. She even tried to hurt the mahout. So the mahout, they shoot her eyes with a slingshot, they shoot a slingshot to one of her eyes, so she became blind. She was sold to another logging camp. Still, the same thing happened. She's still depressed, very sad. She still refused to work. Even they tried to force her to work, but it didn't work. She didn't want to do anything. She was stubborn and quite aggressive at the time because she was really hurt and sad. So they stabbed her eyes with either a knife or a hook. That's why both of her eyes became blind. Anyway, she was lucky enough to be brought here. Yeah, at the time Jogya was very, very sad, but finally she had learned to make friends with this lady. Her name is Si Pra. Both of them become best friends now. Yeah, Si Pra also, she has been through a lot before. She stepped on a landmine They go everywhere together. Every day, all day together.
Best friends forever.
Best friend forever. I can say that.
The Thai law doesn't really make anything much to protect elephant yet. Even they said they make to protect elephant, but it doesn't work. They make the law to protect elephant to walk in the street, but still many of them walk in the street. The police can't do anything. When the elephant get abused and beaten, they fight very little. So the people are not afraid of that. And that in 1991, I asked a friend of mine who have money, and him and his family do a real estate, but they want to start the elephant camp. We have to go and make the sanctuary start, like I let the people come and bath and feed elephant, and he make money from that. Before the market we open, my friend get gunshot. He get some of the camp pay the money to kill him. And yeah, they use M16 to shot him. Yeah, he not die, but he lost arm, is gone. So they close it. And when they close, I have nowhere to go for my elephant. I decided to buy the small land, about 10 acres. When my family, everyone stand up and against me, they said, you bring the family to go and dangerous.
Lek was disowned by her family, but I got the impression that she has accepted it. As she has mentioned before, the elephants are her family now. But it wasn't only her relatives who turned against her. Many other people believe Lek is a traitor who betrayed her own people. She's received death threats, been arrested several times, gone to court. But none of these things have made her abandon her goal. Although she is small in stature, this lady has plenty of power and endurance.
And if you ask me, that is 40 camp, that is we start to work, and they are a real sanctuary. I said no. I will be honest, because they are the ethical. They're not a sanctuary. Sanctuary is mean they no force, they no do any trick, they don't still don't go there and use word or threatening on. The elephant must be out of the fear. They cannot. There must be a really freedom. They must be have a doctor and the vet to look after. They have to be a complete chain-free shelter. First, when I convince them, they will ask me with the first question, how much we will go and make.
Our hypothesis and concerns were right. Not all parks that advertise as such are 100% ethical. However, we should add that almost any park is better than entertaining tourists on the street or performing in circuses. Not to mention the worst-case scenario, when the poor animal will starve to death because the owner can't provide the daily food that's necessary. The best possible future for elephants enslaved in tourism is to spend the rest of their lives in a park like this, gaining back their trust in humans. Of course, this doesn't happen in a couple of days. Imagine the trauma that an injured elephant has to process so that they can have a peaceful relationship with us again. And by now, we know it is possible. We experienced firsthand this special relationship between Lek and her favorite animals.
És megindult a csorda.
And the herd just started to come to her. They have a really special connection. We will see it soon.
Quan, up there, Quan.
Sziasztok. Szia.
เอาวางตัวนี้เลย เอาลงมาวางนี่เลย
De eszméletlen, nem mondd is.
Jézusom.
นั่นน่ะเอาวางตัวนี้เอาว่านั่นน่ะเอาวางตัวนี้เลย
Szia.
Az nem kaja. Szia. Itt vannak ezek a hatalmas állatok. Úristen.
És nem érzed magad veszélybe, tényleg Lekkel, nem?
Csak azért, mert itt van a Lek.
Igen.
És itt van.
พอจ้างเนอะมารีบไปไหน
Látják. Hát ezek a hatalmas állatok...
These giant animals were running towards us, swinging their trunks to the camera.
kamera felé kapkodnak,
És nincsen senkinél
és
semmi fegyelmező eszköz,
Nincsen a bot,
nincsen lánc,
fegyelmező eszköz, nincsen lánc, hanem csak a szeretetnek az ereje.
csak ez a csodálatos asszony.
And guess what? In this park, they never use any tools to discipline them.
สวัสดีอ่ะโอเคสวัสดีค่ะยังค่ะหรือยังค่ะสวยๆแล้วฮะน้องสวยหรือยังค่ะหรือยังค่ะดังๆค่ะก่อนค่ะหรือยังไม่ได้ยินเสียงค่ะก่อนค่ะก่อนไหนมามีดูเลยค่ะก่อนค่ะ
See ya. สวัสดีครับ It's beautiful.
After we let them free we practice them to be here
Yeah, okay, okay.
and they get more freedom.
Like this?
Yeah, you can put in your bag and then you can you can
Just give it them.
Adjál nekem is egyet. Eszméletlen.
Hát ez
Csoda.
életre szóló élmény.
Elephant express their feeling through the eye.
To the eye,
Yeah, their sadness, enjoy, angry, everything you can see from the eyes.
everything.
Yeah, relax. Don't do that, baby. She wants me to be under her.
Why do they like that so much when they like
Because they
cover
want
you?
to claim I'm
I'm the
there.
only one there.
Yeah, look. She want to go and take me away from that. Look. You want to take mommy? Yeah, just take. Now you want to take mommy away? Yes, come back.
The relationship between Lek and her elephants is not just good, as you have seen. It feels like she's part of the herd. Not only is she the leader that the herd listens to, but also the youngest calf who had to be protected. This idyllic relationship requires a lot of work and sweat. Lek told us a story of the long months and a few broken ribs it took to be accepted by a rescued elephant. The animal was so aggressive in the daytime that it couldn't be approached. But in the evening, when it was half asleep, Lek sang to it and stroked it. It took a long time, but it worked. Overnight, the elephant became tame with her, not just accepting Lek, but establishing an exceptionally close connection.
Teljesen úgy érzem magamat, mintha Jurassic.
I feel like we're in Jurassic Park. There is this massive field here with that platform around where visitors can walk around and adore the elephants. And here, there are these huge footprints full of rainwater. To me, this truly feels like Jurassic Park.
When they arrive here, this is all ripped. Yeah, ripped and skinny. But look at them now. They're beautiful.
Beautiful, yeah.
Beautiful.
Pure elephant.
Everything are beautiful. The eyes beautiful.
And they are so calm.
They're so calm. Yeah, they're so relaxed because they know here is love. This is the love for them.
Based on what we saw, we can confidently say that the practices at this park are in the best interest of their elephants. In an ideal world, all domesticated elephants would be living in sanctuaries like this. But it won't happen just like that. That change largely depends on us as travelers.
First of all, I would like to tell to the tourists, if you're traveling to Asia, many of the people are looking to go and selfie with the baby elephant. So many baby elephants stolen from the mothers. Think twice. Don't use the baby elephant to be a part of your program if they don't have a mother. Don't pet them because it's all animal. They also, they want to be, they want to stay freedom and they're not your pet. And also, I would like to ask all of you, to help to bring the voice, education to the other people who doesn't know what's going on, what is behind the scene. All animals that used for the tourist industry, elephant, tiger, monkey, gibbons, these animals, they come from wild. Their nature is from jungle. They train badly before they will come to entertain for us. Trying that is to avoid about that and don't let them to be the part of your travel, and traveling with response and respect to the others.
We wanted to understand the relationship between elephants and tourism by experiencing 3 different parks. After these visits, we realized the solution is not black and white. We also saw what we believe is the best solution for both visitors and elephants. However, we also understand even if this was possible, it won't happen overnight. Just like the problem, the solution will be complex. The first priority is the elephants in their situation. These animals that were born and raised in captivity can never be released into the wild. Domesticated elephants need humans to survive. The difference is the conditions. There is always a better option. For example, if an elephant is dying from starvation, a better option is to have her perform tricks in a traditional park, where at least she is well fed. An even better option for her would be to live in an ethical park, where she is still at the mercy of her carers, but without chains and hooks, and so on. This situation needs to be understood with some relativity. The other part of the problem, as well as the solution, is us humans. We like animals, and we want to express this by getting close to them. We want to touch them, ride on their backs, take selfies with them, but this is really a selfish act. If we cared for them, we wouldn't be around them. But if we don't support these camps, how could they provide all the food and care their elephants need? There's currently no way other than tourism to generate the money needed to properly provide for elephants in captivity. Therefore, we tourists will have to take responsibility. With every single ticket we buy, we make a decision and vote with our money. The elephant camps we choose matters. We must find the balance and pay only for activities that are beneficial for both these elephants and us. The decision is in our hands. Will we support their enslavement? Or will we let them live as elephants?